Hello, everyone. This is the Pennsylvania and Florida Eastern back again for a new train talks. Well, technically not new for those who have already seen this video or the original upload of this video. However, I had to delete it and do some changes. I'm not gonna really talk about why I did it. It's not that really important, but I thought it was a cool idea to really try again after all because I forgot something that I didn't show in the last video, so yeah, this is gonna be fresh for people who are probably like, I'm gonna watch this again. If you already saw the original video, you don't have to watch it again, but you can see this first. I'll be showing this first, and then you can log off if you want and stop watching the video because I'm gonna be doing these items, which are really cool to those who have not seen my original video yet. Well, you can't see it, but yeah, I'm just saying this forward. This is the unboxing, although these have already been unboxed. I'm not gonna really unbox them again, so it's really this one, and it's already open. I haven't really looked inside here yet, so surprise, surprise for both of us. For those who have, well, not seen this item yet. All right, I will open the box and pull out what I got. Alrighty, so I got this out of the box, and I know what this is, but I'm curious to see what it actually looks like. Ooh, got a Pullman coach, Pennsylvania Pullman coach. Wow, this is a big coach. This is huge. It's a hand for scale, but it's pretty much around the same size as my MTH Pennsylvania heavyweights. This is unique. Wow, this is really nice. And it has lighting in here. There's a lighting kit in here. I believe it's a bulb, but you know what? I can't really tell what kind of lighting is in here. It looks like there's some sort of bulb in here. I'm not sure. It could be a LED or something kit that was put in here. I have no idea. There's the pickups. These are metal wheels. For those who have seen these pizza cutter wheels on regular River Rossi coaches, they're okay. I have New York Central 20th Century Limited coaches, and they have pizza wheels like this, but I haven't had any issues with them running on my layout. Well, not my layout and the club layout that I go to. This is actually pretty nice. It's not. It looks more like a brown than a Tuscan red, but I like it. I like that it says Pullman on it. It says observation car. So this car will probably be used on my Broadway Limited. Not Broadway Limited. I called the overnight train that would go from north and south of the Pennsylvania and Florida Eastern Division. There's a line that would go all the way from pretty much Philadelphia all the way down to Miami, Florida. And this is the overnight train. So this train will travel down, all the way down, pretty much 24 hours, but it'll start at night and it'll pretty much reach the evening of the next day, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's a night train that goes down there in Miami. And this train would have it's almost like an express, but it's more so like a, you get to, I don't have a diner or anything, but it's like one of those overnight trains that they have in Europe, which I thought was pretty interesting, and surprised that America doesn't really have an overnight train so much anymore. It's really just prime time stuff, but you never know if somebody needs to travel overnight and they just want to sleep in, and then the next morning they're pretty much where they need to be. So we got your horn couplers on here. They will be replaced with KDs. I'm pretty sure there's a specific type of KD that I can use to put on here, or I can just get. I know there's a KD kit that can snap in place to where this thing is. If not, I'll have to take it off somehow and just pretty much put a KD coupler box and whatnot on there. Same with the other end. Interesting enough, it has this gate detail. It's not the most detailed thing, but It's not painted black, and it's rather thick, but that's okay. It's pretty nice. So there's a seat detail in here, which is pretty cool. Can always probably open this up and add more figures or something like that. It's a nice coach. I really like it. I got it for like $20. I know you can probably get it cheaper at like train shows, but I couldn't make it to any of the train shows that that were going on this early January. I had to be at the local fairgrounds to help my club out. It's part of the duty when you're part of this club. There could be some exceptions to if there's certain reasons and whatnot, but as the bylaws go, there has to be somebody present at the fair to have the train club operating. It's got white plastic insulator. It's interesting. It's on the opposite side than this one. I'm curious. I wonder how that will work on my DCC layout. I'll have to test it with just this coach to see if it causes any problems. But yeah, a really nice coach. I really like this coach, actually. I don't think it was a waste of money or anything. It has lighting and stuff in there, and it's metal wheels, so I don't have to really do too much work to it. It's just really the couplers to make it, well, I'll probably have to weigh it down too so that it can be certified for club running. And I have to definitely work on my MTH coaches. So I don't know if they need weight or anything, but their couplers they need to be replaced, or just they keep uncoupling when I tried to test them for certification. So I'll have to get new KD couplers. I'm thinking about getting those tall couplers where it's really hard to uncouple them. Like it's like nearly impossible unless you like twist it with when you take them off the track. So I'll probably get that for my passenger set so they don't decouple. Maybe for this one too. But yeah, this is a really neat coach, and this is really like the unique thing that I figured I might as well show. So yep, there you go. You've got a River Rossi observation car, and then we'll go to the next stuff that I have. Alrighty. I just realized I don't have a box for that. So that coach will have to go in a cupboard as a new home. Probably forever, unless, I have space. Anyway, I got some Walthers boxes here, and we're going to see what these are. Not this one. We'll do this one. No, not that one. This one. So what we got here is a Dynamometer Car. This is undecorated, but this one has been worked on. Don't know who or what, or if the seller did, but yeah, it's pretty interesting, right? So a Dynamometer Car by Walthers has a coupler here, and I'll take these out in a bit, and I'll show you what's going on with these. They're pretty cool. They really are to test your locomotive's pull strength, like how much weight it can pull, especially when it comes to trains. And it has a little gauge in here that will move up and down, and you can add numbers to it or whatnot to represent like how much ounces or pounds, really ounces though. This the strength of the motor can pull before the locomotive starts wheel slipping. And yeah, it's also a really unique rolling stock as well. Obviously, this one's been weighed. I could tell because it's heavier than this. And this is a Kansas City Southern one. Now you're probably wondering, why do I have these dynamometer cars if they're not in the color, Tuscan Red, Pennsylvania, and all that stuff? Well, the reason why I got these is because my club president was talking to me last weekend about getting dynamometer cars for the club, and he wanted one too because he was talking about how cool these things are and what they do, and he thought it'd be really neat for the club to have one and for him to have one. And he says he saw them one time, but they're like, he said they were like $60, $50-$60, and he missed out on it. I was like, okay, well, let me see if I can go on eBay and find some. And then, Lord and behold, there was like 2 of these left. They're like $30 a piece. I'm like, well, $30 for something unique like this is actually not that bad, in my opinion. Now, some people are like, well, you could probably find it for cheaper. Yeah, probably, but, I wanted to get something quick and useful for my club president. This is not my money. This is, This is really for the club. So I'll be compensated back for, you know, shipping and tax and, you know, for these 2 cars. One of them's gonna be for my club president. I don't know which one he's gonna take. He's probably gonna take this one that has, you know, still has the doors on it. This one I don't know where its doors are. I looked inside, and especially last time when I was did the original video, I couldn't find them, which is a shame. But you know what? It is what it is. You really want to see what's going on here, really. It's cool that there's couplers at each end, but it's really one coupler that does the action. I'll open the Kansas City one because that one's the one that you're probably going to see if you get, you know, used and whatnot. So we're going to take this out. Now, if you look through the windows, there's no detail in here whatsoever. It's really the outside, and the outside's fairly detailed, but if you look under, it's like, look, those are toolboxes, right? There's nothing there. And the details are rather thick. The ladder is separately applied, which is cool. There's a detail kit, I think, that came with this. Here's your cupola on a Dynamometer Car. And then the spring action is actually right here. Got metal wheels, but they don't rock side to side. These are pretty, well, they barely do. But these are pretty solid. It's got a brass axle, I guess. So this thing right here is what activates, this coupler activates this this gauge. So when you pull it, there goes the needle. Pretty neat, huh? So you could probably hold this car and have the locomotive pull full power. And you could probably figure out how much power this thing does. And if you have a really powerful one, probably something with traction tires will do this. But it's spring action, so it's pretty cool. If it's like some weak motor locomotive, maybe like the newer Bachmans, what seem to be, they'll probably pull like this or something before it starts wheel slipping. And you can always add, you know, ounces and values to that if you want to. I think it's just a piece of paper, but I don't know. You might need a marker. No, not really a marker, but maybe a pen. Who knows? Again, I'm not going to really mess with this. This is for my club to mess with. It's got a coupler at the other end. It doesn't do anything, as far as I understand. Nope, doesn't pull or anything like that. It's just there. So you can always connect it to the back of a train if you want, and you can always have these doors closed. Oh, if they can close, let's see. There we go. And you can close doors and make it like a dynamometer car for like testing speed of a train, and it's pretty much like the caboose of your unique passenger set or whatever. This might be like redecorated or recolored or something for the club. Or GSS, which is my club president's fictional railroad. So yeah, it's a unique car, really cool. It's pretty much symmetrical, except from the top, really. Yeah, not really symmetrical. It's asymmetrical, which is unique and cool. But yeah, the Dynamometer cars, they're really unique cars. I think they're pretty cool. Now that I looked at these and like, yeah, this is a pretty cool car. I think this actually has a wrapper that goes around it. Yeah, it does. I'll just like this. I don't really want to wrap it up or anything like that. Doesn't need to be. There we go. Here's some other stuff. You can call Walthers and whatnot about whatever problem you're having. I don't know what this is. But, yeah, we'll shove this all back in here. The other one, it's pretty much the same thing, but custom colored. It looks like it was going to be like, well, I don't know, D&H or C&O, or, yeah, C&O, either C&O or D&H, something like that. I don't know what that person was up to, but they didn't really do the best paint job. But they added weights in there. There are weights in the bottom. Can't really see them, but they're there. They're in there. So you added weights to there to weigh down the car. They have KD couplers, which is cool. There's a KD. So yeah, it looks like somebody it was custom. Somebody try to make it NMRA compliant, which is cool. But yeah, these are Dynamometer cars. Are really for the club. I got them and I thought they were unique, and I'm gonna give it to them and get compensated for my find. Okay, so now we're gonna go to the last part, which I'm gonna do something extra this time. If for some reason those who already watched the video are still watching, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to show what's inside, well, inside what I got inside there. So yeah, I'll see you in the next part, and we'll see what we got in that box. Okay, so this is a really cool set. La Colección. So that looks like Spanish, and this says Talgo. So if anybody knows what Talgo is, well, you might have an idea what this might be. And this is Electrotren. Scale is 1/87th. Says in Spanish. Edition limited. Set locomotives. Talgo 350. It says the price was 150 euros, which is probably around $200 USD. I don't know what year these came out, to be honest with you, but I might have an idea. It's probably early 1910s or something like that, maybe a little bit earlier. I can tell you why when I show you the inside of what was in here. And there we go. These are unique. I was excited, and I still love these. These are really nice. These are Bombardier designed high-speed train engine units or motor units. These are electric trains. Now, the classification is S102 or S112. Now, I'm not sure what's the difference between the 102 or 112. It's probably some performance figures. But it flips open like this. And what we got in here is the motor car. Yes, this is the motor car. This one weighs a lot. It's got a die-cast chassis below here. It's nice and cold. It's cold to the touch, so it's a metal cold touch. So is this front piece. We got a little bit of pizza cutter wheels. I already tested this on my layout. For those who've already watched the original video, I had tested this in DC. These are in DC. They're not DCC. And this is there's an 8-pin board in here. So these are not 21-pin boards. So that could tell you a little bit about the age of these. However, the detail is actually really nice. There's a headlight right above the cab. And then there's 2 marker lights, but they're not really marker lights. They're also headlights. And then there's 2 lights in between, in between on the nose that are marker lights, really. When the train's going in reverse, these will light up red, the 2 closest ones towards the center. Now, this is a really interesting design locomotive. Some people might think it's ugly. I think it's really neat and really beautiful. If you've seen my original video, you already know what I called it. If you haven't, well, obviously you haven't. In Spain, they call this locomotive, or pretty much train set, the pato, which in English means the duck. And the reason why is because the nose of the locomotive looks like a duck bill, and the cab looks like a duck's head, or mainly the cranial area. So, yeah. It's famous for that design. It's a really unique design locomotive. And to be honest, I thought this was going to be smaller than I thought. But this is actually a pretty big locomotive. This is a pretty big unit. Something interesting I found, this pantograph. This pantograph is actually fully operational. So this, if you there's a switch inside on the board where you can switch it to pantograph power feed. So if you had a working catenary system, like a real working catenary system that provides power, you can actually use this pantograph and it will work, which is really cool. I don't have that. I don't think I want to put in the stress of actually putting that together. It is ridiculous in my opinion, but it would be cool to actually run it on their catenary. But it's staying down. I'll probably pick it up. There you go. Doesn't take much to activate this. And a little bit of pain to put it down, but it's okay. It's got some nostrils here for aerodynamics, I guess. The paint is really nice detail if you have it focused. There we go. Very, very nice. This is a very nicely detailed locomotive. Yeah, some of this looks molded, which is fine in my opinion. You don't have to have everything. Probably to keep costs down, which is fine. Got some step detail, truck detail, some more truck detail. This is RE and FE. So this is pretty much like, I guess, Spain's national rail system or rail company. And it's got a really unique magenta stripe with the silver stripe. And this is the AVE. So the AVE is pretty much for trains that use the high-speed line. This is one of those Spanish design kind of trains, and I really like the uniqueness of this train. Here's the back end detail. It's pretty cool. Doors is not open, but it is still really cool that they have this amount of back head detail with a warning electric sticker on the back or decal. It's not super detailed, but it's just enough, in my opinion, for the value of this locomotive. And it's got see-through grills, so this is a it's not just a flat face behind there. It's got some depth in there, which I think is really cool. I think it's cool that it has like this shroud on the inside of the cab window where the conductor would sit. You could probably paint the gauges in there if you wanted to. Here's the other side. It's so beautiful, this train. This locomotive is beautiful. There's some more numbers. Pantograph went up. But yeah, this is a really nice locomotive. And there's two of them. Obviously, you get two, so you can do a high-speed train complete thing. If I can pull it out. But it's pretty much the exact same thing, so I'll just leave it in there. But it's pretty much the same as this, except it doesn't have a motor. It does have a DCC board in here. I don't think it does pantograph. No, it does not do pantograph pickup, I believe, if I can remember. If not, that's okay. I'll probably do a review series video later on this. However, you know what? This actually is a review series video, so guess what? We have a secret review in this video. It's obviously at the end. This pantograph also goes up to, it goes pretty high, but you can, depending on your catenary system, it can go lower. This is lighter, obviously. This is a dummy unit. It has a plastic bottom. Electrotren, made in China. You know, your same spiel. Nice truck detail. Pretty much the same details on the other locomotive. This also has light up headlights and reverse marker lights. The design of this is actually pretty much the same as the Joe F TGVs. And by the way, this train set, or during the time that these were made, it was owned by Hornby. Hornby actually owned Electrotren around this time. And if I can find, because I can't find it. Well, Hornby owns this company. They own Electrotren. Electrotren is really used to be a Spanish company. It's still pretty much Spanish. It has a lot of Spanish prototypes and a lot of Spanish trains. So there you go. So we'll open these up in just a few. I still want to show the rest of these. Well, there's obviously cars that came with this, and it's the full entire set. So I'm going to open this up. If it opens, there we go, and there you go. There's 12 coaches in here. So there's this complete. It's a 14 unit set, 12 coaches. Complete this entire set. Got two end cars right here. I reconfigured what was inside the box when I put on a layout to make it look more prototypical and probably prototypical. I could be wrong, but you do what you can to make the trains look prototypical, right? So you got some fine details on them. I'll probably pull out this end, and I'll have to show you. Took the piece out. I'll move this. I'll move these all over so we can actually have room to see what we got here. So here we go. This is the end car. So these are Talgo cars. These are the cars that actually go in between, and these are really unique, as you can see with the one wheel or one axle bogie. Really interesting. You're probably wondering how well these can like run, even though they have one bogie. Well, I'll be honest with you. These ran really well on my loop. I ran this at full speed in DC, and I have to say, they did not try to derail. They ran smoothly, and quite frankly, they ran like as intended to. You know, I mean, the engineering. I'm actually impressed with the engineering in this train set, especially these coaches. This is the coupling system on this is actually pretty cool. It's not like Joe F, but once you lock this behind one of the locomotives, which has pretty much the same kind of coupler in the rear, you can't pull these apart really easily, which means this is a semi-permanent set. You can't really take this apart or or lose coaches, on a regular, American knuckle coupler train layout, These will stay together. They will not come apart unless, you do something stupid and the train falls off the edge of the table and plunges into a ravine. So, yeah, gotta be careful with these kind of stuff. This is the connecting end that will connect into something I will show you in a second. Here's the side details. Pretty cool. There is actual seating in there. There's no lighting, which is a shame, but you can always add lighting kits provided by the company or other manufacturers that make kits for these types of Talgo cars. There's a little bit of paint chipping or paint wear, but that's okay. Doesn't detract from what I got for it. It's actually a very beautiful train set, and that's okay. It makes it have some character, it has some wear, which is fine. C is, I believe, I forgot what C was. I saw, I before I got this train set, and even after I bought it, I watched a video of a guy by Simply Railway. He rode this train, and it is a really cool train. I know T's for Traveler or something. I know it's for basically second class, and C's pretty much first class, if I can remember. This is one of the end coaches that connects to the locomotive. It pretty much has the main wheel that doesn't really move much, and the articulation in this is actually really interesting. I'll show you how it does that when we pull these cars apart, which is not that hard. You don't need a lot of force. It's just, you gotta dig it, and then there you go. It comes apart like that. It's not gonna break or anything. It's actually pretty solid. And it's just like the other end, like this. And then it would fit in between those two white prongs right there, right in the middle. And these two pieces are pretty cool, these spring pieces. This is what helps, the coach turn with the other, while the other coach is, this bogie right here. It helps the bogie turn when it's connected to the other coaches. And what's unique is that it has these tabs, and you can simply go like this, and you can pretty much put this into storage mode so that these don't break easily. And it also locks it into place. I thought that was pretty ingenious. And yes, you can pull these out and probably replace these if these break for some reason. So I thought that was very unique. You can have them like this so that, if you put it in a box, they're not gonna be open, and you can snap them if you push them around or anything, which I have pretty much have them closed like this, so that they don't break when I transport them. So this is really, really cool and really, in my opinion, ingenious. I'm pretty sure it's not really intended, but in my opinion, I think this is really cool. And then when you're ready to couple up to other coaches again, you can just go like this. And you just push the tabs in like that. Really, really cool. When I figured this out, I was just laughing with like intriguement. I was like, wow, this is pretty ingenious with this design. And then when you connect it, you pretty much act as the guards. And well, it's not really easy to do it when I don't. Oh, there you go. Figured it out. Just goes right in like that. So yeah. And then, oh yeah, a detail right here as well. There's also detail on the end car. You can always add like some of your own details and whatnot on here if you wanted to. Not a whole bunch of separately applied. And it says Talgo on the corner. If it focuses, let's go. Focus. Talgo, there you go. Talgo coaches. And Talgo is used in a lot of things. Not just high-speed trains, but, regular commuter service as well. So it's pretty cool. So I'll put these back in the box. There's a lot of coaches in here. There is, let me see where it is. Is it this one? Yep. Right here, this coach is the bar coach. It's just like the TGVs. They also had bar coaches as well in this. But there you go. You got 12 coaches in there. They're pretty much mostly the same, except some say T on here. Let me see if I can pull this up and we can see it. There we go. It says T right there. Pretty cool stuff. I really love this train set. I got it for around 600. It's around 600. Yeah, I think $600. And 650 was pretty much 50. The rest of the money was for shipping, and well, I got taxed on eBay. It pisses me off that there's taxes now on eBay, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is. So overall, it became around $700. And you're probably like, oh, that's a lot of money. It's like, well, if I didn't have to pay taxes, this would have been $650 without 8-pin DCC decoders. And I will get DCC decoders. I have found a DCC decoder, and it's going to be ESU. I'll get an 8-pin ESU sound, lock sound decoder, lock 5 decoder for these. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the rear one to have a lock sound, or just going to be a regular 8-pin in here just to work on DCC. Otherwise, the thing will be flashing lights all the time. And just have the sound, because there's room for sound in here, as I'll show when we get to the next scene while I have these opened. And I'll show the process of, putting the shell back on. It's really, really simple. I actually prefer the shell opening on this compared to the Joe F TGVs. I think Joe F can learn from Electro Trend and here on how to open. As you can see, there's a screw hole, and yeah, it's just so much simpler to open these up. And I'm really surprised Joe F has bumped that, but that's okay. I'm really surprised Joe F has not tried to copy this, because even though they're owned by the same company, it would help us modelers just to open these models to service them. It would just be so much easier for us to just handle them, work on them, possibly upgrade them or fix them, And I do have a surprise of what's inside the motor unit right here, and it's going to be really cool in my opinion. I had to do some research with someone who has a lot of knowledge about motors and whatnot to figure out what kind of motor was inside this model to see if it was good or bad. And there's a whole lot of good to talk about. All right, I'll see you in the next portion. Alrighty, so now I have the shell off. This is what you're going to see inside one, I guess, in the older version of these. I've never seen a 21-pin. I believe somebody has the 21-pin. There's a video of someone out there who has a set of these out there that is 21-pin. Unfortunately, nobody, I believe, in America has this. I could be wrong, and I probably am wrong. It's just that nobody decided to make a video of this train set. But I'm guessing I'm the first one to do it, which doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it because, I like to share cool stuff. Here's some of the gear towers. Now, this is a low mountain motor. If I can get this, there we go. It's a low mountain motor, which is excellent in my opinion. Here's the gear drivetrain towers. There's a worm gear in there, and this drive shaft is pretty thick, and it can move in and out, I believe, as well, which is pretty cool. Here's some of the bearing inside there. I'm not going to really open yeah, probably not. I'm not going to open the worm gear tower to see, if the worm gear has any clear washers in there. I'm pretty sure there is gear washers in there, but I'll probably update you guys on a later date. Really wanted to talk about is this motor. There are 4 dimples, as you can see on the top of this motor under, the board here. And motors like this are actually made from Kato. However, this is not a Kato motor, even though it is. So you're probably wondering, what are you talking about? This is a HM5 Kato motor clone, or in a more realistic sense, this is a knockoff. This is pretty much the same quality as the Kato HM5 motors that Kato's pretty well famous and well known for making and putting into their models. My club president has a couple of these, and I might ask if I can buy a couple of them in case I need to get another one. But I'm not going to run these into the ground with this train. I mean, this train will be probably used at the fair maybe once in a while. And when I operate this train, it's always not going to be running for hours and hours and hours and hours at a certain speed. So yeah, this is a really high quality motor here. There's nothing to worry about here, and it's got some nice brass flywheels here as well. Here's the cab interior. As you can see, it's really bare. You can always add more, and there's no seats for the people. If you want to add more, look how much space. You can add more detail to this on your own if you want. I mean, that's how cool it is. Here's some of the light piping in here, and I have to say, some people are like, "Oh, I don't like light piping." To be honest with you, this is one of the best light piping you'll ever see. When I operate this thing, the light piping is very, very good. Like, the light piping is extremely good. That's saying a lot, isn't it? But yeah, I'm serious. The light piping on this model is really nice. Really, really impressive. It really is bright enough to see when you're operating this train. If it focuses, there you go. You got LEDs right there. And this is your typical, 8-pin DCC board. As you can see, it's got this unique thing in the middle right here where you can switch it to work from the track. I don't know what VIA means, but in English it probably means, the ground from the rails. And then you got antenna or pretty much pantograph, and the pantograph is ANT1. I wanted to get a better position. Rather uncomfortable. And an LED1 or LED2 in -2 is for right here, and it does work. There's some springs in there that will press up against those contacts that will power the LEDs. Pretty smart, I have to say. It's sometimes the wires have to be connected to the board, but you don't have to if you want to take the shell completely off, so you can have free reign. Same with the pantograph contact. This is pretty ingenious, if you ask me. I haven't seen a lot of people try to do this, especially in the United States market, to really do stuff like this. So I am genuinely impressed with this design, even though it's rather simple. There's a lot of space in here, guys. Like, especially behind right here. If I get a 21-pin, well, not 21-pin, but 8-pin ESC lock sound, I could just have the lock sound over here, not putting heat against anything, and I can have it, have the speaker attached right under it or right under here in the back. So yeah, that is pretty cool. I will have to tape down the wire so it doesn't interfere with the pantograph, and I'll probably have it taped up against inside here and then have the speaker below it, or have the speaker somewhere else if I want to, but I'll probably have the speaker below the decoder and do something like that maybe. There's so much I could do with this. There's a lot of space inside here to really do a lot of work. I could probably maybe even tape the ECU decoder right under here above the motor. And it's not going to touch the motor, but there will be heat in here, but it will dissipate. So, sorry it's not focusing as much. It's camera. What can you do? But yeah, it's a really unique thing, and this shows you that motion effects for this coupler back here, so it can do tight corners and keep the coaches close. Similar to how the Baldwin Sharks by Broadway Limited. So yeah, this is a really, it's a simple, but it's, the design here is pretty good. It's got a quality cam motor, and I'm guessing these gear towers are really high quality too. If you're gonna make a model high speed train, you need to have pretty much the best in terms of gear train if you want it to last a long time and to still run at high speeds to be reliable. Here's the contact plates on the bottom. This is where the wires pretty much solder to. They're not in the way of the wheels or anything like that. But it is pretty unique how these things are put together. To maintain or add lubrication, I'd probably just take off the gear tower. Pretty much take off this piece, which I'm pretty sure is just an easy pin to just pull out. And then I'll be able to access under here and just open it up and add some grease if it needs some grease or anything like that. And this thing runs ultra smooth, so I don't think it needs any grease. I'm pretty sure it's well greased up. And there's no lube that needs to be added. So I have to say, the drive quality on this is pretty up there. It's pretty high. And I have to say this is a really quality made model. I would recommend as a model to buy, simply because I see this motor and I can tell this drivetrain system is pretty solid. So it is worth the value in my opinion. And then I'll open up the dummy unit. But before I do that, I'm going to show you how this works. So there's two tabs behind here. If it focuses, but you can see there's a little prong poking out. I know it's not focusing, sorry about that. But there we go. There's the little tabs right there, and they pretty much tab at the back. Right here, those two holes in the back right there. And you're going to go like this. And then you're just going to have it clamp down. But I think I did it wrong, actually. The reason why I did it wrong is because these tabs did not tab in, and then you press down. And then before you finish, make sure this antenna is down while you do this. You push the tabs into their holes. And there you go. Same with the other side. Just push the tabs back in. And then the streamlining case is pretty much against it. I didn't press it all the way in, but you can always do that to make sure it's correct. And there you go. Pretty much flush. And there you go. That's it. And then you just have to unscrew the front. And it's pretty much sealed, this unit. That's it. This is so much better and so much easier. So much easier than Hornby Joe F. Joe F needs to change their design. I'm sorry. It just needs to happen because I hate the all tabs thing, and then you have to shift the shelf forward to go over this bottom wing or lip right here. It's just I can't do that. And there's a tab in the back. There's like a tab in the back right here on the back fascia in order to pull it off, and that is a real pain in the butt to open without breaking the plastic on the back. And then the tabs on here on the Joe F model are terrible. I mean, you have to basically use credit cards or plastic spreaders to get this side open and then you have to get a screwdriver to just spread pretty much the ass cheek back here, so that you can pretty much, you know, shimmy this bottom side out, and then untab this, and then you pretty much lift the rear and then push forward. You're most likely to break the model in the shell, or pretty much the shell of the model, and maybe some of the streamlining detail on the Joe F ones. They really need to redesign them and pretty much make it like this. I mean, this is so much easier, and you can just screw in the front, simple as that, or wherever they can screw on the Joe F one. Easy, like not too thick tabs. They can spread open on this side. You pretty much do the front first, and then you work your way to the back, and then it untabs there, and on these two pieces of the streamline untab at the end, and then you just take it off. That's it. It's just so simple. This Joe F, you can learn from this. You can learn from this model. This model from Electro-Trend is amazing. You can come up with something similar. You don't have to make the exact same kind of system. Maybe still have the single tab, but just change so it's easier to take the shells off, please. It drives me crazy, and it makes me want to commit Sudoku or commit suicide because of how annoying and how painstakingly careful you have to be just to take the shell off. This is easy. It's not too hard. It's not a pain in my butt. I love this. I really love this model. And here's a screw. Get one of these screws, and you just flip the thing over. And then right around. If you can find it. There we go. Goes right in. And then you can just unscrew it. I'm not going to unscrew it yet. Now, we're going to look inside here. This one, we're going to actually unscrew. So you're going to put your screwdriver in. And I already unscrewed this. It was actually pretty tight before. I'm like, this is unnecessarily tight for a model. And we're going to just unscrew. There we go. And you can see a bit of this circuit board under. Okay, so it's pretty much there. Oh, there's the screw. And then we'll untab. Oh. It's untabbing. I know it is. Hold on. And then you know, it's not that easy. I'll be right back. I'll be at the part where I can actually just pull it off. Be right back. Okay, so I pretty much have it untabbed. All 4 tabs are untabbed. And then I just have to go to this side and then just pull the tabs out. That's it. These tabs come out. Something you can push back on it too, and that will also help it. Whoops. I'm telling you guys, this is actually easier. It's supposed to untab back here. But if I just push back, you're supposed to push back. I've opened this before. This is not that hard. Maybe these ones are a little bit tighter. Sometimes these things are tight. Oh, there we go. Got one. I'm telling you guys, it's easier. Oh, woo. We're really going on that one. Okay. And then the same on this side. There we go. 1 and 2. And then up and away. And there you go. Oh yes, I guess I can also do a hint. You could do pantograph on this one too. Well, I'm sorry about that. There's the chip. This is your Dcc Dummy Plug, or DC Dummy Plug. You just plug it in here. Like that. This is the correct direction. So now I'll only work in, DC mode. And then pretty much the springs Should touch right on here, I would hope. Do they? I don't know. But yeah, this is what's inside here. Looks like 2 weights. 2 weights, 3 weights, 2 weights. There's just 2 weights here. You got your worm gear tower here. There's nothing in there, obviously. It just holds pretty much the bogey in place now. And you can also, I could probably also add a sound unit in here too. You don't have to, you can just put the sound unit in the dummy car instead of the motor car. But you know what? I actually want to put the sound unit in the motor car, since there's a lot more space in that compared to Hornby Joe F's model of the TGV. So I don't know. I don't know what this car will be. I can again, I could probably also do like a another sound unit and just have them both make sound. Which, you know, it might be a bit excessive, but you know what? I don't care. This is my train set, and you know what? That would actually be pretty cool. And I can have them both play sounds at the same time, or I can have one muted and be on a different address. Or, yeah, probably have the same address. Anywho, it depends. I'll have to think about it. I don't know if I'm going to do 2 sound units. Might be too excessive for electric trains, but you know what? I might try it. I might try it. But yeah, that's how I open it. I know it's not the most graceful thing to really do it, but you know, it's not that hard. Pretty much the same thing, just does have a motor. And lights work and all that stuff. Pantograph, if you want to work it, works. Springs are a little bit weird. I have to make sure they bend back in place. Mainly because I seem to want to rock in the opposite direction and not face down. I think I fixed it. But yeah, the springs are pretty good. They touch the contact plates, and there you go. That's how they get their power. Right on top of there, those contact plates. So yeah, this is a really unique set. I'm gonna zoom out and we look at the other stuff. Got a new Pennsylvania coach. So there is some Pennsy in this stuff. Dynamometer cars for the club, and for me, a very nice high-speed train from Spain. Really, really cool. This train actually did come from Spain, by the way. This came from Barcelona. A seller from Barcelona gave me this set that I bought from, and to be honest, I really love this set. One of the best sets I really have in my collection, I would say. This is, well, not really fleet, if I would say. This is my third pretty much high-speed train. So I can't wait to work on this and add more to it and do some other cool stuff and maybe even bring it to the fair. Ooh. Well, it won't run at the fair. I'll have to take the dummy plugs out. I don't have any 8-pin decoders right now to have it at the fair, unfortunately. So I'll probably have to take the dummy plugs out so that they won't operate at all. They won't respond to any electricity or whatever. They'll just sit on the track and do pretty much nothing. Yeah, which is a shame. But yeah. But they will be at the fair, and people will see it and be like, "What the heck is that? That looks strange." And I'm like, "Yep," and I'll tell them what it is. Because you know, this hobby needs to expand, in my opinion, on different horizons. I know we mainly model American trains here in America, but there's some really cool stuff out there, guys. Like, there's really cool stuff that you can get at a good price and pretty much get a whole train set for a value of like one of those brass hybrid engines from Broadway Limited. I mean, this engine's probably as much as the C&O locomotive, or a little bit cheaper. It's actually cheaper than the C&O locomotive, and you get a complete set. And it has a better motor that'll probably last longer than BLI stuff. Oof. Oh, let the hate burn. But, you know, that's just me being a little, you know, cheeky, I guess. So, yeah, I hope you guys like this pretty much review inside of a box unboxing video. And I hope those who stuck around enjoyed this little extra part to this. You know, it's pretty cool. And you got to see like an extra thing. And for new viewers, I hope you enjoyed this video. guys have a great night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye now.